So we did say to you, next time you see the tub, it'll be in paint. Well, it is. Well, primer anyway. But now we're going to take it apart. Welcome back to another video with the Rusty Nuts here at Mad Ford Engineering with Bob's tub. Now, we did say to you that it would be in paint, and indeed, it is in paint primer. However, when we've painted it all up, what is often difficult to see on shiny metal is, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, this back panel is very badly damaged. So, we've got new shiny ones. Not very expensive, considering. And for the sake of it, to make Bob, we're going to replace them. It's a relatively easy job, I've been told. I've had a quick look at it in a gander and been brought up to speed from Mick as how to do it. So I'm not expecting it to be too tough a job, but we're going to give it a go. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to start taking this panel off and put the panel back on. So I'll take you through the steps. So what we have to do is there is a series of rivets and spot welds holding this piece of equipment on. But what we need to do first is we need to have a bar across the top here and then measure the distance between it, mark it down, because when the new one goes in, the position of these two needs to be exactly the same. And that's critical for the rear you know, the shutty thing, door thing. So I'm going to see if we can get a bit of angle iron on it, get it on there, we'll get it clamped up, draw some marks on it, and we'll do some measurements, jot them down on this piece of card, and then we can start cutting out. Let's go! Right then, so what we're going to do here, sorry to move you around on the camera. What we're going to do here is I've got this piece of angle iron, and we're going to take these clamps and we're going to clamp, or try, I haven't actually tried this yet. Yeah, there we go. Clamp them on. And that means that these two parts will be held exactly right. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why do that? What's the point in doing that when you're cutting that one off? Well, the reason is I can put a little mark there and a little mark there and know the gap. And I'm also going to measure that gap and write it down, and then we know that we'll do one side at a time rather than cutting both off. This one will get cut off as it's the worst. Stick it back on, clamp it all up again, put these back on, and then we can glue it and stick it back in. So that way, we know it's exactly right. The other way you could do it, of course, is you could try and put the tailgate, which I remembered the name of. You can put the tailgate in there and work it out that way, but the tailgate's in storage, so we're going to do it this way instead. So the gap for my reference between the two is 91.9 centimetres from there to there, just under a metre. In American, no idea. So what we're going to do now is cut that one out, which means drilling some rivets and all of the exciting things. So I'll put you on time lapse for me drilling stuff out, because otherwise it'll be a little bit boring. There's an hole in Bob. Off it's come. So, there's the old one. It's off. Not a bad job, to be honest. It's pretty straightforward. Just Straighten those bits out. Yeah, not a bad job at all, to be fair. And then it's just a case now of feeding all of this back in, because there's two rivets underneath here that were holding it in, and they were a bugger to get out. But they're out now, and it's a little bit of finessing to feed it back in. As you can see, it's going to take a little bit of jiggery pokery to get it back in, but rest assured we'll get there. And then it's a case of gluing, riveting, crimping, clamping while we wait for the glue to set. There we go. Just a little bit of finesse. There we go. And get all of that clamped up, held into place. Beat this panel down a little bit, get it shaped. Then, yeah, you see that's opened up slightly to 91.2. No, hang on. 92.2, sorry. So, needs to come over a little bit. We're not talking much, we're just talking a couple of mil out. But a little bit of beating. Sorry, headphone users should be wary of a bit of noise that's about to happen. Or has already happened. So, I'm going to drill through this side once it's all in place. And we're going to clamp it all up. Get it the right shape. It's weird, this side must have overhung quite a lot. Yeah, so you can see it fits. All we've got to do now is shape up the metal, make sure everything lines up correctly, and then there's a couple of places I just need to drill through so we can rivet certain areas, like the top here for instance, that one was a rivet. I think that one, and what we can do is bring the capping back in, set the capping on it, locate where the holes go, and then drill all the holes, and we can actually rivet all in place while the glue sets. So I think that's what we're going to do next. So, there's a lot of crap came out of it. So we're going to put 2 rivets through the middle there, glue along across, because this is where the number plate sits, so it'll hide those 2. We'll put the cap in on this side, glue here, glue there. I think we might drill through those 2 and put rivets on this side. As well as glue. Because that way it tends to hold it all in place, you see. That is the theory. We'll find the hole. So we can clean those up, get some panel wipe over these panels, clear the excess up, find the cappings and go from there. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to glue up. Right then, what have I done in the meantime? I've cleaned up all the edges. I've banged this little bit out of shape here. I need to get behind it, but we're going to have to secure this, I think, before I can actually panel beat it. It turns out it's quite a bit of filler in it. So we're probably going to have to redo this. So I need to get the dolly behind it and smack it flat. So I'm going to do that bit next to get that ready. Then this needs cleaning off and a full panel clean. Glue it up, rivets in, clamps on, corner cap on, rivet that in place so it holds it all together, and then we can drill them back out again so we can get primer underneath this. So we're going to sacrifice some rivets to hold it all in place, and we know it's exactly right where it should be. So I'm just going to get some paper towel, some panel wipe, which I think I've got in here somewhere. And then, yeah, just over there. So get some panel wipe on it, get it all cleaned out, get some glue on it, which is this stuff here, CT1 adhesive. Get that over the edges that would have been spot welded, because we're not going to re-spot weld it because we haven't got the tools to be able to get in to spot weld it in place. So we're going to glue it and rivet it instead. So that's why I've cleaned up all the areas that are going to take the glue. I'm going to get 2 rivets in the middle of this one to pull it tight. We can rivet the bottom on, get it clamped, because we'll get clamps on the bottom here, clamps on the side, that's riveted in, clamps around here where we can, clamps down here, you get the message, clamp the shit out of it. And get it stuck in place. So I'm going to get the dolly and just work on this. So I'm going to turn it off because the noise will be too loud. Right, so that's the panel all cleaned up now. So I'm going to apply the glue, probably make a mess, swear a little bit, and, well, hope for the best, really. So wish me luck. I'll leave you in real time for this, so you can watch me make a mess of it and learn from my mistakes. Use a sharp knife, Liam. That is often a good thing. Or just the right knife for the job. You know. Okay, so let's get the glue applied. Now, oh shit, I'm no good at silicone in bathrooms. So you're just going to have to ignore the mess that I'm making. I've also got shaky hands due to a motorcycle accident from the past. So it's probably going to go all over the place. But this stuff is pretty epic. Once it goes off, it's stuck, you know. So make sure you get a nice even coat of it. And here I am talking like I know what I mean, but I clearly don't. Probably get away with a slightly thicker bead of on the end. There we go. And then up the side here as well. And I realise I still haven't done that panel beating bit, but that's okay. I'll do that now. So let's just panel beat this in. So I'm just going to pause you for a second. There we go, not perfect, but we'll be able to finesse it once gas glue has gone off. So I'll put a little bit on the bottom here as well. And then, in theory, it's just a case of sliding it back in. He says with a great deal of confidence. I just need to smack that back out again. Pigs here. There we go. There we go. This bit here is a bit of a pig to get in. It was a bit, God's sake, making a mess already. It was a bit of a pig to get out because it kind of sits up and in. Okay, so that needs to come up a tad. Like so. Measure our gap. Come this way a bit. So, what I'm going to do first, I think, is put this top rivet in here because that one's going to hold it in place for us. Rivet gun. There we go. So, go. Right, that will hold it in place for us for a second. Same with this. A couple of rivets in the middle. There. And there. They're funny shapes. Right, so that's pulled that nice and tight now. So we can get that all lined up. That looks good. Stick our cap on. Yep, so I think we'll get the bottom two ones on. As you can probably tell, I've got no idea really what I'm doing. It's all about figuring it out as you go along, isn't it? That's how we learn. There we go. Right, so we can get clamps on that. We can get two in the side here. I think I'm a little worried because of the glue going off, but I think we've got plenty of time to go on this glue. I think it'll probably take a little while to go off. Right, that is in place. So I think that top one is wrong now that it's all kind of lining up. So I'm going to take that one back out again. And it wants to sit probably about there. Like that. We now get that in its right place. Well, okay, so then the next step is get the cap into its place, drill through. This one is a little bent, so we'll have to adjust it as we go. But now we know where we have to drill to get the rivets in, you see. We know that one's got to go there, so we know that one is there. This may look messy, but it'll sort itself out. like so. So we'll get those in. Get this top one in first. I realise you probably can't see anything because I'm covering the camera. I apologise for this. Da 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 da. Basically, what we're trying to do here is get it to a point where the capping is holding the panel in place while the glue sets. But I think we're going to have a bit of finicking to go with. As it was a little bit battered out of shape, this one. Whew. Now, like I say, I know this seems counterproductive because you're going to have to drill all of these back out again. But a few pence worth of rivets is worth its weight when we're lining a panel up. Da, 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 da. I thought it was going to be cold tonight, so I put thermals and all sorts on. And you may realise that I'm working in the paint booth. And it's keeping the temperature quite well. There we go. Right, so that's fairly solid in there anyway, but this piece holds it nice and straight now. We can do some finicky work around there. So what I'm going to do now is make sure my level's right, which it's not. But it is now. Is it the same at the bottom? It is. Cool. Cool. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I don't. Right. So there's a couple of bits where we've got to get clamps on. So I need to get big clamps. These bits here, I've got to get clamps on. you get all of the clamps. There we go. So I'm going to get some big clamps to go over here. Put that on so it doesn't go off on me. Clamps there, some clamps for the bottom as well. A couple of clamps for either side there. And then we're good. Right, so just 1 or 2 clamps just to hold it in place while the glue goes off. Oh yeah, good fuck. So yeah, clamps everywhere. Everything's all nice and solid. I think we're in a good place. So that's this one done. Okay, quite pleased with that. That's taken me about an hour to do that, and there was a lot of faffing around in this bottom corner which we need to tidy up another time. So I'm going to see if I can get this one off. Again, quick measure across the top. Let's get it to 92. That's a nice round number, isn't it? So get it to that. I'm going to try drilling this one off, get this one off, see if I can do the same with this side. So I'll bring you back when I am done with this side. In fact, do you know what? I'll treat you to a time lapse. It's been a while. So there we go. That one, hopefully you can get an idea from the time lapse. That one was much quicker than the other one. A, mainly because I know what I was doing on the other one, once I've learnt from this one. And B, that side was nice and straight. I didn't have to beat it out. So I think you'll agree that looks a little bit better than the original ones. So all the clamps will stay on it now forever. Make the door a little bit difficult to shut, but no, I'm just joking. The clamps are on while the glue sets. I think it's about 24 to 48 hours, so we'll just leave it like that. So it should be ready for us on Thursday. When we come back, we've got some patch repairs to do. I've got a little bit of filling work to do on the back because I can't get it straight. And then these patches here, we're going to use the old panels to cut sections out of them and then glue them underneath so that they're repaired. And then that means that we can fill them and then re-drill them for the seats wherever Dave decides to put them. So that's nice and straightforward. Oops-a-daisy. So, hope you enjoyed that one. I have a feeling it'll only be a short one, and I apologise. These little bits of work just take so long to do. This tub has been never ending. So hopefully the next stage for this is clean up the tub, panel wipe the back end, get any excess glue off it, get some primer on these bits, repair the bits that I said I was going to do and fill, and then we can get it in some colour. And once it's in colour, we're going to quickly schultz the underneath of it, mask off all the paint and schultz off the colour of the underneath, so we can get some schultz underspray on it. Underspray? You know what I mean. And then we are going to get it bolted onto Bob's chassis, and that will be a major milestone. I think it'll be a big boost for us as well, because this just seems to go on and on and on. But yeah, time's better. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. Links in the description below. All you long-term sufferers of the channel, you won't need me to tell you what's in below. And all the newbies, we've got merch and stuff and links to DJI and stuff. So that's just below. DJI is the cameras that we do all of our filming on. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.